And right now I'd like to introduce you to someone very special, Lieutenant Colonel Garth Callender. He served the Australian Army with distinction over 25 years in combat intelligence, training and strategic roles. He was one of the first casualties medically evacuated out of Iraq when hit by a roadside bomb in 2004.
We were going up into the CBD of Baghdad. That night, unbeknownst to us, an insurgent had parked a vehicle on the side of the road, laden with explosives. So it went off about 5 metres to the left of my vehicle. Bomb had gone off. We were travelling about 60 k's an hour. The vehicle was torn to shreds. I was in line of the blast itself, so copped a face full of blast and fragmentation, nicked to my carotid artery, but I also had holes into my sinus. I had pretty significant burns to my face and neck from that blast. Whilst there's a bit of a story about me, it's just as much a story about these guys, this team, and about how that professionalism, dedication and teamwork came into play to save my life more than anything else. So I owe these guys a lot.
And I'm pleased to say that Lieutenant Colonel Garth Callender joins us in the studio live this morning. Good morning, great to see you.
Good morning, thanks very much for having me.
You mentioned the people that you go to war with and what it means to them. As we creep closer to Anzac Day, of course it's Anzac Eve, who are you thinking of? And
yeah, exactly those boys. So yeah, it's a great opportunity to take that time to reflect about what we've done as a team, but also to think back, put that in perspective of history as well, going all the way back to sort of the landing on the beaches of Gallipoli.
Yeah, Anzac Day, it's such an important day. And I think for a lot of young people, they think of our older Anzacs.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're a relatively young man.
Yeah.
We've still got men and women currently serving. It's such a current thing as well, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah, yeah. I guess one of the most poignant moments for me was I went back to Iraq in 2006, and we had one of our soldiers die over there only a few days before Anzac Day. And so Anzac Day for us then was the first opportunity that our team came together as a group and had that opportunity to mourn and reflect on Jake and then also sort of come together and look at a way forward, but put that in perspective of what other Australians have been through in the past. We weren't the first group to lose a soldier on operations.
Very special night at the MCG tonight. You have been given the job of lighting the cauldron.
I have, yeah.
How you feeling?
Yeah, 80,000 people's a lot. I don't want to trip up the stairs.
I was just saying to Garth off the air, I'm like, seen a footy match at the G before? You've been there when it's empty.
I've been there when it's empty. I haven't seen it full.
Be a little bit different tonight.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah, right.
Have you seen the Anzac Eve ceremony? The AFL do it so well.
They do, yeah. And it's so respectful. That's,
Yes.
I think, what I love about it. 80,000 people there. What do they get? 1 million people viewing.
Yeah.
And it's done so respectfully, honouring the service of our military people.
Garth, as somebody who's been to war and has seen some of the atrocities that you have, soldiers are so stoic. Do you, when you reflect, when you come to moments like this, Anzac Day, what's it like? Do you allow yourself to get emotional? Do you get emotional? How do you sort of...
So I'd say same as the rest of the population, people process things in different ways. Anzac Day is a great opportunity for those people that do get emotional to show that emotion. For those people that just like quiet reflection, it's that time for them to be able to do that. That
must have been so chaotic when you were medically evacuated out of that situation. Just take us back to that moment if you can.
Yeah, it was. Your intro sort of wasn't me telling a story, but at the end of the day, it was, like I said, there was those boys around me that protected me from a really angry crowd that had gathered. They were dealing with humanity at its worst. There were locals who had been severely injured. There were children who'd been killed from that same blast.
Their families, right?
They were, and they were angry and they were looking for answers, and it was the heat of the moment. So they were dealing with about as grisly, difficult work as any military person can be expected to deal with.
Were you conscious after the blast?
Barely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was up, but I couldn't see. I couldn't really talk. I couldn't communicate. So luckily, my team stepped in.
Yep.
I was the boss, and I was injured. So my team all stepped up and managed the situation.
I mean, you see military personnel who come back with physical injuries, but outside of that, the mental damage that we hear about is so damaging. How can we support our Anzacs and our military personnel outside of Anzac Day? Because while tomorrow is a terrific reminder,
Yeah.
it's something that needs probably to be spoken about all year round.
It is, yeah, and I'm a firm believer that a vast majority of military people finish their service standing and smiling, of having an amazing experience, going away with all these fantastic skills. But as you say, there are people that do see humanity at its worst, and that takes its toll. They're physically tested to breaking point, or like me, they're injured on operations. So, that's why I got involved with Bravery Trust, because I love that organisation, because they're the ones who are there providing that bit of a safety net through initial financial support, then also helping people work through budgeting, minimising debt, resetting their path so they can fix whatever else is going on in their life, but more so they can just get on to sustainability and feedback into society.
So you're the CEO of Bravery Trust.
I am.
You're a Richmond supporter.
Yeah, I was going to get to
How
that.
do Richmond support Bravery Trust?
Well, so first of all, they've been so gracious, asking me to come and light the cauldron for the game tonight. So that's awesome.
How was that phone call?
Yeah, pretty good. So fantastically, that the other way they support us is their head of marketing, Simon Matthews, is actually on our board as well.
Right.
So he
He's a
gives
great
up
man,
his
Simon.
time. He is, yeah. He gives up his time to provide that leadership to the organisation too.
I saw you were making Anzac biscuits with Jack Graham at Punt Road at
Oh, really?
at Richmond training a couple of days ago.
Yeah, that was great.
What's he
So
like in the kitchen?
we were all terrible.
Can't be good at everything.
Plenty of golden syrup in your eye.
Hey, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And I'm going to ask, score tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Look, what I would say is, whilst I'm going to be lighting the cauldron, that's going to be pretty special. Keep an eye out. Richmond have been fantastic, allowing my 10-year-old daughter to go on with the team in the for the ceremony before the game. So her and a buddy Aiden, Millie and Aiden, will be up there with the team. So keep an eye out for them.
So the Tigers are winners in your eyes, regardless.
Absolutely.
That's
In her
coming
eyes
from
more than
a
mine.
not so confident Richmond supporter, just like me.